All right, everyone. Welcome to Aussies taking over the NBA. We are up to episode number 50.
Woo!
Whoop, whoop.
Christmas Eve.
Yep, it's happening. We're going to title this one the Big Game Marathon.
Been away for a couple of weeks, so yeah, we've got a lot to catch up on.
A lot to catch up on today. And then we'll have some pretty cool content coming out over the Christmas break.
Yeah.
Remember, you can find us on YouTube. You can also find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, or your podcasting apps. And if you're a Sydney Kings fan, don't forget to check out on the Kings Dime podcast.
Yes.
That is going gangbusters as well. We're going to keep the same format, just go game by game. Obviously, with there's been some development. Aaron Baines has broken his hand.
Broke his hand. Sucks
2 minutes into the game, so he's out for over a month. Delhi's got a bung knee. He's out indefinitely.
Yeah.
I don't imagine it'll be indefinitely, but he's out for a little while.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're looking pretty good on the home front.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, if we did it team by team, like these teams just play each other and then kind of mashing games in together, and then
let's go
game by game. I think the last one we're up to was Phoenix and the Spurs.
That's it. So Phoenix and the Spurs, and a big win for the Spurs. Phoenix, no book of this game, I don't think.
Yep.
Paddy had 24 minutes, 7 points. 4 from free throws and a plus 21 on the night.
Yeah, they tend to rest him in these blowouts, which is good.
Yeah.
They rest him for a little bit, and then they give Derek White, I think, or Damian
David
White.
Bertans has been playing very well.
Yeah.
Davis Bertans. He's been playing really well, man.
Yeah.
He's been hitting that three ball sweetly.
It's one of their main... he was almost good enough. But now, like, you've got to be good now. Like, you have to be good for this team to be any good.
Yeah.
So he's playing all right. Pirtle's, I think Gasol got injured, and then they look a lot better now. It's like you don't have to try and wheel him out in a wheelchair.
They're just weird. Like the Spurs will win some really hard games and then just chunk.
Yeah.
It's like, where did that come from?
Or you try and look in the makeup of why they lost that game, and you're just like, all of the things they do normally, like, this doesn't make sense. Why did they lose that?
Yeah.
Man? That's bizarre.
I know.
But they'd won three straight at this point.
Yeah, and LaMarcus has been playing really well.
Yeah.
Playing well at the elbow.
A little weight too. Like, he looks a little
bit fitter.
Weight, a little bit faster. I think it's just gonna be how he has to play, is a lot less back down and a lot more like Embiid, where he's moving in the post and he's getting post entries on the move and like doing different things defensively. Might get him a bit more offense. DeRozan as well is still, playing quite well.
Yeah.
I'm getting it. Like, I was really enjoying watching him play at the start of the season, and now I'm kind of just a bit like, his game's just identical all the time. Like, he just plays the same way over and over.
Just drive into the mid range.
Yeah.
Put up a shot.
Yeah.
Drive into the basket.
I mean,
up and under.
Yeah. Or
it's kind of like,
bump your guy off and pull back and fade and take a shot. Like, it's good to watch, but it just gets so tedious.
It's not like watching a player like Curry, where there's just so many different levels. Like, today it could be drive Curry, or tomorrow it could be just assist factory Curry, or like, all right, now I'm just going to shoot from the logo. Like, there's different levels. Same as KD. I mean, Klay Thompson's a little bit one dimensional. He's kind of like, all right, he's just pulling up from mid range this today, no three ball on, or he's just hitting threes all day. He's not that kind of 3-dimensional player. There's really not a lot for DeRozan, but he's just one of those kind of players that you want in your team because he'll add most nights. DeAndre Ayton, I think DeAndre Ayton on a better team is Rookie of the Year.
Yeah?
I think
so.
On a good team.
Yeah.
Youngest, fastest to, I think, 400 boards, 400 points.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I think Shaq is one of the only other ones to do it. He's a good center. He's got a good elbow game. I reckon he'll develop that over the years and be kind of that DeMarcus style player. Can bully his way in. He's not a big shot blocker. He's more of that kind of
bouncy at all. But
no, he's kind of that mobile big that will come out and shoot. He's not got that game. Was like Embiid's got everything.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton's like 80% of Embiid. I just feel like he's got an elbow game. Yep, he's quick, runs the floor all day, good rebounder. Just hasn't got the shot blocking down yet.
Yeah,
but that may come in time. We'll move on to the next game, and that was the Knicks and Cavs, and a big win for the Cavs.
Yeah. Delhi, the man.
Man, wow, he's playing well.
Great
Shooting
start,
the three ball, just, I think he loves being back in Cleveland, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure. It was not so much a basketball related move as it was like a for his own mentality or for the culture of his own game.
He's so loved in Cleveland. I can't believe how loved he is. It's like an old
standing O. Sorry.
Yeah, it's an old friend coming home.
Yeah.
He had 22 minutes, 15 points, 4 from 7 from the field, 60% from 3, 4 assists, 3 assists on a steal. He's plus 17 on the night.
Yeah.
Something crazy. I think when Delhi's on the floor, the Cavs are plus 44.
Yeah.
And when he's off the floor in the games he plays, they're minus 127.
Yeah.
So it just shows you what defense he brings, not just offense.
It's hustle, it's rhythm. It's a different type of action.
Well, I think that they're playing Colin
Sexton, obviously.
Colin Sexton, he's an ISO baller. He's like that old school street baller, ISO baller. He's leading mid range shooter. Rookies, I think he's 5th overall in the NBA at the moment.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but no dish.
Yeah,
it's just drive and score.
It's
almost like DeMar DeRozan.
It's my legacy type stuff. I'm making a name for myself here, everyone.
Yeah, and I think the comments from some of his team members probably led to a lot of that. But Delhi's more like that floor general. Like you move there. No. You defend him.
Yeah.
And then you move there, and I'm gonna hit that guy. Or I don't think Colin Sexton demands that kind of floor yet. Clarkson had 28. Hood had some good fourth quarter scoring.
Yeah, and he's been a bit up and down, but he's been a little bit better. I think he's probably a lot better with Delhi on the floor.
Yeah,
taking a little bit more of the ball handling responsibility away from.
Yeah, definitely. Sexton had 19. I mean, Sexton's probably third as we speak in point scoring behind Luka.
Yeah.
And he didn't play the first 6 games of the season as well. So if he probably played those at starting, he would have, I think, more points. But I think Luke is definitely a more well-rounded player. I do like Zion Williamson's comments this week. If he goes number 1, he wants to go to the Knicks.
Oh, okay. Good luck with that, bro.
I don't know why.
Maybe he's from New York, is he?
Uh-oh.
Well, the Knicks are going to be hitting the nose pretty hard and tanking.
I think they might be some tank city coming up for
if they
because it's either going to be RJ Barrett or Zion Williamson.
Yeah,
both
and
out
then
of Duke.
Cam Reddish from that. He's out of Duke as well.
I think my pick for the draft is Rui Hachimura.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of talk about it actually on the pods that I've been listening to. Like Rui Hachimura, this guy, like look out for this guy. I'm like, we still are impressed.
Yeah, that's right. We saw him destroy Australia.
Yeah, it was great.
Him with old cerebral palsy physicus.
Polio physicus. That's a blast from the past. So Delhi said it felt great to be back. Big rims here, so it's nice to see a few go in early, which was good. He's got a pretty ugly jump shot, but it was good to see him knocking him down.
Yeah, they're just like, whoa, that is an interesting shot.
Yeah. And then he made another one, and they were like, oh, well, it's obviously working for him. Yeah. Move on, I guess.
Yeah, Bucks and Pacers, and the Bucks chunked.
Yeah,
in a big way to the Pacers. Thornatron's been playing definitely more minutes since Henson's been gone.
Yep.
And Connaughton's just been taken out of the rotation lately as well. Yeah, because he's just trash.
Yeah, struggling a little bit,
11 minutes, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and a +9 on the night. Obviously, garbage time.
I think he played all of garbage time, all of the fourth quarter. It was a blowout in the end. It's these games where if these teams come up against Giannis, and if they can throw a lot of bodies at him, he sort of struggles.
Yeah.
And if he's thrown off his game, it doesn't ever return to him. Like he doesn't have a spot where he can go, right, if I just get back to doing this, then I get back to playing my game and I get back in rhythm. It's like he always goes searching for something that he can do to get his game back on track.
Yeah.
It's something he'll work out in the next couple of years.
We're still crazy good.
And then it crescendos on the team where nobody can get the ball to him properly then.
I mean, with Chris Middleton really not playing as well as he did to start, Lopez not hitting it, are the Bucks a threat anymore? That's the question.
Yeah, well, I think the way they play, they can be a threat because it's kind of feast or famine. It really is.
Yeah.
Like if the threes drop in, they're great.
Yeah.
If it's not, it's like, well, what else you got? Like Giannis inside? Well, if Giannis inside's not working, what else you got? And it's like, try and find Giannis and get him going, and it's like no, you gotta get Bledsoe going because Bledsoe's been playing a lot better recently as well. And then I think Middleton's kind of not quite in a spot in that team where, all right, we can just get out of the way and let this guy work. It's kind of he's got to integrate, and then the way they're playing, if they're like, it's always like they're almost like if the three's dropping, we just go back to the three, boys, back to the three. Come on, let's go. And then if it stops, they've got to stop playing and then grind their offense a little bit.
Yeah.
And if someone hits a three, it's like back to the three, boys, let's go back to the three. And just like, no. Like what you were doing was working. Like keep going with that for a bit longer. But it's just, and then Lopez will just shoot from anywhere. Like Lopez, if he's open, it's just 24 feet, bang, you just shoot it. And if that's your green light offense, then that's good. Like you got to live and die by the three. But I think over the next couple of seasons, they'll develop within that system.
I do think that that's something that, when you go cold, you're kind of not like the Warriors or, even Philly, even Boston. Like they can't go to that inside and grind game. It seems like if, three balls not dropping, Giannis is being shut down in the lane. Brogdon, do you want to drive?
Yeah. And Brogdon actually has been doing
playing really well, but
and
it's just like
Bledsoe
that. But that's all they've got, and it seems to be that they're losing some games pretty easily, and they're not. Philly's catching up. The Pacers are catching up. The Raptors are a little bit hampered by injuries at the moment, so it just seems like that Eastern Conference is wide for the taking for the next 10 or 12 games at least. But a good win for the Pacers.
Pacers were looking really good actually. They look good. They're a well-rounded team.
Let's go to the Nets and the 76ers.
76ers,
It seems to be the Nets seem to be the 76ers bogey team. Although Dinwiddie scored a career high 39 points. Like Joel Embiid said, we seem to make guards look like fucking all-stars.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. It's just like, Blake Griffin puts up 50. Kemba Walker puts up 60. Spencer Dinwiddie puts up 39. I think D'Angelo Russell put up 42. Like,
is that a shot at Ben Simmons?
No.
Nah.
It's just a shot at, well, no, Ben Simpson doesn't, he guards the four. If you watch, he guards the 4 or 3. It's the games that Butler, I don't think Butler played this game. Yeah, didn't play. So, I mean, that's why I suppose Dinwiddie didn't play. He would have been shut down by Butler. Like, this would have been a Covington, typical Covington shutdown. But look, they played well. Joe Harris played well as well. But Ben Simmons is starting to really heat up. 22 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. He's starting to become that, triple-double threat every night of the week now. I think he was slow to start off the season, but
with a lot of the things that were happening with the roster, there were guys going everywhere trying to learn how to play with different guys. Shamet obviously found his role.
High-scoring rookie from 3. Yeah.
Well, he's got a great shot, and they're the ultimate team to be in if you're a 3-point shooting rookie, other than the Bucks maybe or Houston. And then obviously Jimmy Butler gives them a different dimension that they can go to, which is important. How has Jonah Bolden been going?
He's been in and out of the G League. He did come back for the last game against the Raptors.
Yeah,
he had
Raptors
4
yesterday.
Blocks. He had 3 in the first quarter. Didn't score a lot of points, but just some monster blocks. I think what they're looking to do is play him at the 5 in Embiid when Embiid's off the floor. Yeah. And then move him potentially to the 4. I think they've realized that Amir Johnson is probably not going to be the point scoring or the rim protector that they like. He's getting a bit old, and his minutes have been really diminishing. And I dare say they will not re-sign him for another season now that they've got Bolden kind of playing that 5-spot rim protector that can also shoot the 3 ball. But I think Philly just still lacking bench depth. I think it's the same issue as
you'd expect that with some of the moves that they made, like.
Yeah, but they've got 21 second-round picks.
Yeah, well,
between now and 2021, like Justin Anderson would have been a prime role player.
Yeah, he's at the Hawks, isn't he?
Yeah, he's at the Hawks. Rashawn Holmes, prime role player, good power forward. He's at the Suns. Like they're getting rid of good players that started the process for picks. How much good are you going to get out of second round? Like really,
they must be trying to get rid of some of that salary for Simmons.
They've already got they've got tons of salary.
Yeah, you're right. We looked at that a couple of weeks
28th
ago.
28th in the salary.
Yeah.
All right. So what they play a bit of luxury tax. I read a really interesting article, and it's just that the owners don't care, man. I think they're split on how to deal with Markel Fultz. They want a good pick for him. I would take any first round pick, to be honest with you, and scout the shit out of that first round pick and make sure you get a player like Landry Shamet, really, because you got Zaire Smith. He will come back.
Yeah. That's
your point guard. That's your point guard for the future. So why are you going for another point guard? Just get a shooter like Landry Shamet, and that would be good. But yeah, man, he Landry Shamet really well. And we'll see Jonah Bolden very soon. Okay, next one. Celtics and the Wizards, and a good overtime win to the Celtics.
Yep.
Celtics, not the legacy we thought they would be currently.
Yeah. It's hard, man. I still feel like the trying to integrate Kyrie and Hayward back into the team has kind of created problems for them, which on a level of getting the team up and running and going and flowing, it's causing them to just lose games here and there. And I think the standard of the league is a lot better now this year. Like, it feels like a lot of the teams aren't scared. Like, nobody's scared to just be like, well, whatever, we'll just shoot the ball, I guess. Like, whereas maybe some of, like, in the last few years, some teams you just knew going into their building, you just go, we're just going to destroy this team because, they're rubbish.
Which is pretty much, I think there's probably two teams that you would feel like that. I think you feel like that with the Bulls. Yeah. And you probably feel like that with the Knicks. I think the Suns I think the Suns are a weird team that they've had injuries. Booker hasn't played. That Ariza thing was just like a bit of a sour taste. Yeah, the Hawks. Well, that's just trademark.
That's the Suns. Even though they're 8-25, you're just like, that's not a bad team there. And it's hard, man. Like, the last few years, you'd just be like the Nets, the Hawks, and the Knicks, as well as the Kings and the Grizz. You were just like easy wins straight up. Just go in there, easily beat them. But it's like in that West, every team is just going to win a game from nothing. And you're just like, okay, they won. Nice. Where'd that come from? It's just, I don't think these teams are scared to just play anymore. Yeah. Like, whatever, we're just going to play as hard as we can.
Form seems to be not in runs, but in nightly. It's like a nightly base form. I was like, oh yeah, we've had a good sleep. We're playing well. Things are flowing.
Like I said a few weeks ago, we're looking at this now with scrutiny to almost every day. Yeah. Whereas if you're just supporting one team, watching that team over and over, like, that's how, like, it's a different way to support. Like, it's a rhythm-based supporting where you watch your team play this team, you watch your team play that team, you watch, like, when you're really looking at the cold hard analytics, you kind of start to change the way you think about the game. You just kind of think, oh, like, how did they win that game? That's kind of weird. They've been shooting really terrible, and then they suddenly turned it on in that game. Then different things start to appear in the stats, and you're looking at it differently when you got your eye like zoomed in on the stats and the analytics side of it. But it was good to see the Celtics. Bainesy, some good cheerleading off the bench. I saw him late in that game. I think it was Jaylen Brown had a pretty big dunk towards the end, and Bainesy got off the bench like with a huge Hulk, like, it was awesome to see him. 16 minutes, 3 points. It was a corner 3 that he shot, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Is Dwight Howard back? No, he's out for months, isn't he?
Dwight Howard may never come back.
Yeah, from that ordeal.
From the gluteal injury caused by a 6-foot mamba.
John Wall, he's playing a little bit better. Struggled a little bit. The Wizards are just... man. And they just traded for Ariza too, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. They got their man they wanted though.
Who?
I don't know.
Kelly Oubre got traded for Ariza.
Austin Rivers. And Austin
Rivers, yeah, he got waived.
And then he got waived, and now he's off to Houston.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They need Houston are just like, someone can play with us.
Yeah,
Who wants to play with Houston?
Can you shoot? Just stand there and shoot. Well, hard and nice.
All right, man. Just pick someone up from the G League already. Jesus Christ.
The Gary Clark's been playing really well for Houston, actually. He's someone you wouldn't think. And Daniel House is another one. Okay, on to the Hawks and the Mavs. No Ryan Broekhoff, so I think we can kind of skip this one in favor of just chatting about Luka and Trey Mung.
Trey Mung, he's not lived up to the hype.
Trey Young?
Yeah.
But Luka has.
I think Luka has. I think that step back is probably one of the most lethal step backs in the league. Unlike Harden's double step back.
Yeah. 5 step back, step back, step back, step back.
Yeah, I was like, oh really?
I'm surprised they call that, man. Like, I listened to a piece, and they were talking about how refs with Harden, they no longer look at the peripheral parts of the game with him. They're just always looking for him to flop. Yeah. And it's almost like a psychological thing that he's taken the ref's eyes off different things that happen.
Yeah.
by being such a flopper and, playing like that.
Yeah.
And fair play to him if he wants to play like that. He's got to take this shit from people. And yeah, he was right. He was exactly right. They don't see these things because they're all looking for different things other than his feet, because that's just the way he plays. But obviously, did you think that was a good trade in general for the Hawks and the Mavs for that pick?
No.
Do you also think like there was some politics involved in the way the Hawks were building their team? I reckon Luka didn't want to go to the Hawks, man.
I don't think he did do. I think, the Mavs would have definitely been a better destination. It has. And they seem like they may be running for a playoff berth if they can put something together down the stretch.
Yeah.
Look, I think the Hawks kind of like, well, Trae Young's kind of like Steph Curry. No one really wrote Steph Curry, off as being anything good. So we'll just get Trae Young. Look, he's a good distributor of the ball with some pretty old pieces around him. There's not a lot of decent things around him, but he was brought in because he could shoot the three ball. And I think he's shooting at about 24%.
Yeah, it's horrible. And that's what I said that at the start, man. I said he needs screens. He needs to start working off shooting off screens, because in college you don't need to do that.
No.
You don't need to really shoot off of concerted screen action. Like, it's kind of, you could just get broken play to shoot in. And the NBA is a different beast, man. Yeah. Like, you got to run scheme. But I just think that Atlanta team was probably 3 or 4 years away from securing a talent like Doncic, and they just had to go with that guy. Where their franchise is, they're still 4 or 5 pieces away from even having something to work with. So I don't mind them making that trade. They're just going to cop a lot of shit for it, man.
But I mean,
it sucks.
Again,
but you got to look at the politics of how that all works. Like, if you couldn't bring Doncic, like, then why complain? Like, try and get the best asset that you can.
Well, they traded down for Trae Young, and so they traded down for Doncic in a pick. So I think that's why they're kind of banking on this pick. Is the two? We don't have any pieces. Well, we'll take a slightly less piece to get 2 pieces that potentially could build us a better team.
They were just way further down the pecking order, I think. And we can move on, I guess, to the Jazz and Miami. Miami at the Jazz, and the Jazz just destroyed them. They were up by as many as 42 on the night. It was one of those games I watched it and I just went, can you just play like this all the time? Like, why can't you play like this all the time? What the hell? And I've noticed, like, Gobert specifically, a lot of his entry passes are so late. So he's almost got to, like, do these double moves and almost triple moves to get a score, and he can't do it.
No, he's not that skilled. He's really just a dunker and a rim protector.
Yeah.
So you have to get it to him high in the post, low in the post, sorry, and get him almost like jumping up for the ball and then just jumping to put it straight in. That's how you get him to score efficiently. Whereas he's not a back down. He can't dribble.
No, he can't back guys down. And a couple of the times they were finding favors where favors, all he had to do was pump fake and let a guy go by and put it in. Yeah. Whereas Gobert, if Gobert pump fake, there was always 2 guys there because he's kind of a bit slow. Like,
the league is moving
working,
past
man.
him.
Yeah, it's moving on. It sucks, man, because he was an absolute monster last year defensively. He was one of the big reasons why they went on that huge 30-game
I think that's what the 24 second down to the 14. It's made teams quicker. You know, you're not getting in the 24 seconds. You can just kind of post up and he can sit there to catch a break. It's like, all right, 14 second, we're going to jack up a shot in 6, and you're running back constantly.
Yeah.
And, people say, why is Embiid look tired so much? I was like, this is Embiid's first full season. Philly have played more games than anyone. He has, his body is not used to this. He's going to get tired. He's going to need time off at some point. And I think Gobert is probably the same way. It's a faster game. Going to need time off.
He's just got to, like, develop something, man. He's got to, like, bring a move into his game that can make defenders go, oh, okay, he's got that move. Now I've got to think about it a bit more, because he just gets double fronted and it's completely ineffective. And a couple of times, like, Joe Ingles will come off the screen and then he'll give him the ball in the lane, like at about the foul line. Yeah. And he can't do anything with that. It's like, well, don't dump the ball off so early, Joe. Like, mate, like, at least throw the ball into a vicinity where he can catch it. If it's a low percentage pass anyway, like, just at least try and do these little things. Joe Ingles, he played really well in this game though. 24 minutes, 10 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. 2 rebounds, 6 assists, plus 29 on the night. So he was making things happen. It's playmaking Joe really this season. It's like I'm Mr. Playmaker, and if I don't want to shoot it, I'm going to play make.
Yeah, it's not working for them.
I'm just like, Joe, just
hit
go
30
back to
points a
shooting
night.
it, mate.
You go back to shooting. That's what you're known for. I think it's because he's gone a little bit cold. He's just like, I'm out.
Maybe it's a little bit.
I don't want to look like shit. Yeah.
I'm not shooting it. If my percentage is going to go down, I'm protecting my legacy.
Yeah.
I
don't think it's that. I just think it's like, all right, I can do more on the ball than off.
Yeah, like I really feel like he's a leader.
Yeah.
And he needs to be seen going, right, if I'm not doing the right thing, I need to be helping. And kind of gets sucked into that. Like, he's obviously the heartbeat of their team. They all love him. And he gets drawn into these, I've got to be a leader for these guys. And it's just like, bro, like sometimes you need to go, I'm just going to get out here and shoot, boys. You do something for me this time. And that's part of leadership as well. And Dante as well, he got 22 minutes in this game.
He's such a slasher, isn't he?
Man, he was quick. And some of the, like a couple of times he dunked and you just like, woof, off 1 or 2 steps. Like, wow, that was good to see him playing really well. Got to the line. Shot 2 or 3 from 3, which is good. We need him hitting that 3 ball, 3 assists. 5 turnovers, though, but in garbage time, kind of making it happen late.
Trying to push something. Kyle Korver's been a good acquisition for him. I thought really Grayson Allen would be that. And I thought they would have given Grayson Allen more time, but it doesn't seem so.
Yeah, I think he's probably a bit raw still.
Still a bit raw?
Yeah.
Red raw. All right. Raw. Moving on to the Clips and the Spurs, and the Clippers. I don't understand how they're still up there. Like, there is no one on their team that I'm like, maybe Tobias Harris, but there's no one like, oh yeah, these guys, they should be winning games. But then sometimes they'll tank, and then they'll go like 140 against the Nuggets.
Yeah, that's why. Like at the start of the season when they were playing really well and winning games, and everyone was like, oh wow, don't sleep on this Clippers team. Like they're awesome, and I'm sitting there just going, what makes this team tick? Like, what? It doesn't make sense. And I really like Tobias Harris. Like, he's a solid all-round player. Lou Williams coming off the bench. Montrezl Harrell giving him an injection. But then you watch Gortat now, and Gortat's like, bro, you're slow and old. Like, what's going on here? And then, like, against the Spurs, like, where did 125 points for the Spurs come from? You're like, the Spurs have been struggling, like, to put up 110 consistently on the entire season. And then suddenly they just pound this team for 125. It's like, all right. Just weird things are happening this year, man. It's strange to watch. Paddy, 20 minutes, 11 points, 3 or 4 from the field, 4 or 4 from the free throw line, getting to the line, which is good. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, plus 19.
It just seems like LaMarcus, when LaMarcus has a bit of a feast, they do really well. And sometimes the Spurs can be snipers. Like, they'll shoot 70%. And you're like, you just chunked. Like 2 games ago, and there's Davis Bertans putting up points left, right, and center. It's like the game against Philly, which is be coming up in a bit. Like, where did this come from? Like, why?
Rudy Gay as well. It's kind of Rudy Gay's like the tempo meter of that team. If he's playing really well, they play well, and then it makes LaMarcus Aldridge better.
Yeah. And
then if he's not playing well, it's a mess. But the one thing is they've been struggling to score all season. So if you look at their points per game, 111 points per game. Like, it's not. They're not super high numbers. I think 115 is the Warriors and the Clippers. But that's the defense is where they excel. So it's weird to just see them put 125 up. I think they put 100 and something up a little bit later, maybe against the 76ers.
They did. They put up like 130 against 76ers. But they were just sniping the whole game. Just like, everyone's shooting well. Anyway, we'll move on to the next game, which is the Mavs and the Suns.
No broke off, no party again.
No broke off, no party. The Mavs are 2-10 on the way on the road.
Yeah,
bit jank, but that bit jank, bit of a chunk. We'll move on to the next game.
I think they were up in that game too, and then they just let it slip. But Phoenix is a weird team, man.
Look, if Booker's on the team, anything can happen. That's the thing. Like, if you're 10 down in the last quarter, you got no lead. Booker just shoot threes from freaking anywhere.
Yeah.
Next game, Hawks and Celtics. We expect nothing less than the drubbing of the Hawks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Baines had 40 minutes, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and plus 19 on the night. Defensively, he is a behemoth.
Yeah, he's so good.
Absolutely.
Especially against these crap teams where he can just use his body and his size and he can dominate guys.
It's like, yep, I fought a bear, I'm going to fight you. Jason Tatum had 22 points. What do you feel about the rumors, the AD rumors to the Celtics for Brown and Tatum? Do you think that...
I wouldn't for Brown and Tatum, but I think this has been coming for years. I think they've been trying to get him for years, and it feels like that goes beyond what the team needs if you know what I mean.
It does. I feel like, well, you got all these pieces in play, right? You're gonna how much salary they got left? They got Gordon Hayward on the supermax. They've got Kyrie on a high contract. They've got Al Horford on a high contract. They're gonna push AD for the max. Like,
yeah,
are you really trying to compete against the Warriors in that way? Like, the Warriors are a Steph Curry. That's the player there. That's doing it for them. You really don't have that player. Kyrie is that player potentially, but he's still not the same player.
I think he's about on the same level. Like, in terms of if you're trying to build a team to beat the Warriors, like, Kyrie Irving's good enough, like, to be on that level. Yeah. Like, you can build your franchise. But if you look at Anthony Davis, like, the obvious move there is to just trade him for Hayward. Like, Hayward, sorry, it's not working out for us. You got that injury. It's not really working. Let's just swap those two guys. Like, that's the obvious part. Yeah. But I think it goes beyond what the team needs and what the coaching staff need to. It's like a boardroom type thing. We need Anthony Davis because he's a mad player. So just get rid of a couple of other players and we'll just get Anthony Davis in there. Where maybe the coaching staff would be turning around going, we don't need to stuff this guy in. Like, we've already done the two guys we're trying to stuff in. Like, we don't need another guy we've got to try and stuff in.
We've got such good depth that we really don't need to do this.
But that's what it feels like to me. But I'm pretty sure they've been trying to get him for years, man.
I think the league actually won't let it. To be honest, I don't think they'll let him leave New Orleans. I think that will kill that franchise.
For sure. That's what Bill Simmons keeps saying. Yeah. If Anthony Davis leaves, then you may as well pack the franchise up and move
it back to Seattle.
Yeah, that'd be good actually if Seattle Supersonics came back.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't like to see franchise like this. I think they should expand the league rather than contract it and just move shit around.
It's kind of gotten a nice sweet spot really. They're making money. They don't have to service too many things, and like a lot of the teams aren't struggling to generate for themselves. Like all the money kind of flows through everywhere.
Yeah, I think once they go to the next TV deal and it goes up a couple of billion, they'll be able to get another two sneaker
around with it. Yeah,
another two team. It's not till 2025 anyway. But this game, easy win for the Celtics. Irving had 24 points in 3 quarters and was pretty 20. Much taken out for the rest. And that is the end of that game.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Let's move on to the Bucks and Cavs. A bit of Aussie on Aussie crime.
It was good. It was a good game too, man. That was a really good game. Thorne obviously had 3 points. He hit a 3. He played really well, man. The 3 he hit too. He did a bit of the.
A bit of moneymaker.
Yeah, it was good. But a minus 13 defensively, it's kind of like he doesn't fit that team, man.
No, he doesn't fit the team.
If they were playing conventional offense, which wasn't just the freak at 4 and then shooters, he might work a little bit better because his offensive game kind of works. Like, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But his defensive game, like, he doesn't fit. Like, he's always going hunting. He's always, like, not in the right positions. But if he was just playing a traditional 5, anchoring the paint, it'd work.
Yeah.
But it's good to see him playing. Like, he's playing solid minutes, like actual minutes, not garbage time. Like, they're bringing him into the rotation. I think they brought in Sterling Brown as well.
Yeah,
he's playing a little bit as well. Delhi obviously was this. Yeah, this was in Cleveland. This is the one where he went flying into the stands. Yeah, crazy, man. It's good to see him hustling. 27 minutes, 10 points, 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 5 fouls though.
I know.
He was doing a lot of defensive work and a lot of rip low action on Giannis, and he was like struggling to contain Bledsoe a couple of times.
Giannis, 44 points, career high.
Yeah.
On the up and up, or just an anomaly in the bunch?
It's just he could score 20 plus a night easy without even breaking a sweat.
Very, very easily.
I still don't think this system really fits him, man. Like, him holding the ball and like filling the floor with shooters. He's so mutant. Like, his game's so mutant that he doesn't fit into conventional offense. Man. No, he's just too big. Like, and he can't really handle the ball smoothly enough, like a KD or someone like that. But it's working for him. And Lopez 19 points. Bledsoe's been playing a lot better when everyone gets out of his way and he can just run a sort of conventional offense, pick and roll with Chris Middleton. Clarkson had 23 points. Larry Nance Jr. had 14. Colin Sexton had 5 points. A bit of a struggle for him. And then Tristan Thompson's been out with a sprained left foot.
Well, in terms of where we catch up to the final games, the Bucks are on the same amount of wins as Philly now, playing 2 less games.
Yep.
Their hot start is starting to creep up a little bit.
Yeah.
They're going to be top 4. Don't get me wrong. Like, Celtics are 5. Pacers are playing well. The Celtics really aren't living up to the hype that they
it's not working, is it? But that's all right. They've got a lot less, I think. A lot less to work out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They don't have to really play hard in the regular season. But obviously, you know, it'll be interesting. We'll go through a lot more in depth on a further pod when we start to break.
We do. We're only about 6 games away from half season, so we're going to have a few cool pods coming out over the Christmas and New Year break. Breaking shit down. We've only got about
13 games to go in this pod, and we're already over half an hour.
Yeah. What are we up to time-wise?
76ers, Pacers, 36 minutes gone so far.
All right, let's get to an hour. This is a big chunk along for the 76ers at home. Embiid had a big night, 40 points. No Butler. I think defensively they really struggled to get Thaddeus Young under control. Bogdanovic had some good late shots.
Yeah.
The game was pretty much up for the taking up till about the last 4 minutes, and some shots didn't go for Philly, and some shots went for the Pacers. And you know what? Either team could beat each other on a good night. But
it'll be interesting to see these two teams in a final series.
That would be a good final.
They've got different action to go to, and Bogdanovic and
the Pacers.
Miles Turner's playing really well.
Yeah, Miles Turner's having a great season. But the Pacers have had their home court as a stronghold. Also high wins, but on the road. But you know their home court is a stronghold, and the Philly home court's a stronghold. Yet they've betten each other at home. So I just think it'd be a series up for grabs.
Yeah,
but we probably won't see these guys in the first round. I don't think.
Nah.
Somehow the Heat have crept up into 7th spot. When did that happen?
How did that happen?
Fuck if I know.
And the Hornets are in 6th. Like, what's up with that?
And the Pistons is finally dropping. Thank Christ for that. JJ had 22 points, man. JJ, wow.
Redick.
Shooting season, just dropped past 10,000 points. You know, as a 34-year-old, he's having the career year again. Like, he had a career year last year. How much better can this guy get at 34?
I think the way they use him is just perfect too. That's part of it. It's like, they're not going, JJ, you need to help this team do but this and this. So they're going, no. All you need to do is run to this spot. Take those leaning, flying threes that you run to your spot and make that shot. That's all you need to do.
Just look at him.
Yeah.
Copy him word for word.
Yeah.
And it's kind of working, and it's just weird.
But that's the type of player he is, man. He's just such a savvy guy. I gave you his podcast, didn't I? Sent you the link for that. Yeah, you should listen to that. Because he's a smart guy, man.
Yeah, he's really, very intelligent.
Really good veteran. Like, nobody really ever says anything about some of these veterans that help people. Like, David West was good for the Warriors, because he was just such a good veteran player. Like, he didn't complain. He wasn't going, I want this and that.
He was just the gel man.
Yeah, and you need one or two of those guys on your team, and I think a couple more years of him, if they can keep him there for a couple more years with Embiid and Simmons. And he obviously wants these guys to do well too. Like, he's enjoying the fact that he's playing with these people and wanting them to do better. It's important for that team. And he really defended Fultz as well, which was good to see when Fultz was going through a lot of his problems.
And I think, you know,
just a good team guy, good veteran.
Yeah, good team guy.
I really like him.
I don't think there's any bad juju in Philly at all. I don't think there's any players going Embiid's being a little bit whingy, but I think that's more out of frustration for his own performances rather than the team. Because he puts a lot of pressure on himself. It's funny, I saw a meme this week and it had a picture of LeBron at 16 and a picture of Joel Embiid at 16, and LeBron was, first high school player, all these accolades, and Joel Embiid's like, just learning to play basketball.
Yeah.
He's been playing basketball for 7 years.
It's crazy, yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, you're like 6'6" now. We're going to take you and teach you how to play basketball. And then turns into this 7'2" behemoth who has probably the best center feet outside of DeMarcus Cousins in the game. Just crazy. He's having a great season. Next game.
Yeah.
The Jazz versus the Magic in Mexico.
Oh, I watched the start of this game. It was a horrible game. They'd started so bad.
Were they just all worried they were going to get shot by the...
Nah, because they have some Mexican players. I think Neto for the Jazz and then somebody else for the Magic who I can't think of right now. It's a spectacle.
Yeah.
It's almost like an exhibition game that didn't mean anything. And then just the start of that game, like bricking shots, just playing terribly. I think Joe Ingles, he shot 2 of 11 on the night, and his first 2 shots came in the first 6 minutes. Then he couldn't hit a shot all night.
Yeah.
It was awful. He blocked Simmons at the end of the first half, though. That was pretty sweet. I saw that. He had 5 assists, 3 steal, 1 block. Dante Exum, 16 minutes, 2 points. He couldn't get anything going. 31.5% from the field. Yikes. And then 24.1% from 3. Yikes. They're just awful.
Just awful statistics. And I did hear after this game, like 6 Magic players came down with flu-like symptoms on the way home.
Thanks, Mexico.
Thanks, Mexico. Right. Your water is terrific.
Yeah.
It's that wall they're building. We'll move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Move on from that
Celtics,
terrible
Pistons.
Chunking for the Celtics against the Blake back down Blake.
Yeah.
Bainesy had 10 points, 4 from 6 from the field, 4 rebounds, -10. Griffin had 27 points. Drummond added 19 and 20 rebounds.
The Pistons, their perimeter guys and their other guys, are just so up and down, hot and cold. It's just so
very
weird,
hot and cold. It's really the Blake Griffin show, and if Andre Drummond's having a good night, then they seem to be doing okay. It's the 2-man game. I'm a little bit in awe as to how I just think they'll make the playoffs because it's the East.
Yeah,
they don't deserve it. Their game is just based around if Blake Griffin is backing down. I think he went to the line 20 times against Philly. It's just ridiculous. I mean, great player, but such an ugly player to watch. And then Drummond, just bricking rebounds and O boards, and if Reggie Bullock's on, if Ish Smith's on, it's just if all these guys are on, they seem like an okay team. But it's just it could be on tonight.
You to switch it on one night and just be like, this team is trash. What is going on?
Yeah.
It's a weird team.
Slow. They're not really good. Pistons had 20 turnovers and still won this game.
8 in the fourth quarter and still won.
That's what I feel of that game.
Let's move on.
And we should really blast past this game because the Spurs lost to the Bulls.
Yeah, what the hell is that? That's what I mean. Look, these weird things are happening, man.
It's
weird.
Lauri Markkanen, which I think is probably the Bulls' number 1 asset.
Yeah.
Played fantastic. Had a great dunk. 23 points. Chris Dunn played 12, 24. I think they've gotten Jabari Parker's just we just don't need you. You go. Just go find another team.
He's their main signing.
I know. It was $20 million a season. It was a 1-on-1. So it was a team option for the second year.
Shit,
yeah. So 1-on-1. He'll go and he'll probably get $2 million somewhere now because I think no one's really keen on him. That keen on him.
He can't play defense. That's
it's just terrible defender. The Bulls outscored the Spurs 55-31 in the second half.
Yeah, I can kind of see how that team, if they
LaMarcus should have been feasting this game against Robin Lopez or Markkanen,
But I can see if this Bulls team catches lightning in a bottle, they can just completely flash teams, blaze past teams with Levine, with Jabari Parker, Markkanen. These guys are fast and they can score. But that's all, and if you're missing shots, you're just kind of fueling that. I can see that happening, but man, the Spurs, defensively, just look like rags out there, man. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Patty, we're not even going to read out Patty Mills' score.
No, it's not even worth it.
76ers Cavs.
Yep, bit of Aussie on Aussie crime.
New Aussie on Aussie crime.
New Aussie on Aussie crime. Simmons, 22 points, 11 rebounds, 14 assists.
Yeah, man. Jesus.
He's starting to hit his strength. He's starting to 20 plus points a night, getting back up to that 10 assist mark. I think he's probably one of the only players in the next little bit that could potentially average a triple double for the year.
I think. Oh, we've been cranking it this morning. I think he just needs to develop that shot, man. That's all he needs. That's the last piece of his game.
But again, I think he's a smart player. He doesn't take an overly burdened amount of shots.
Yeah.
If he's not hitting, he just all right, I'm not just going to shoot. I'm just going to distribute.
And he waits for his moment too, which is a good quality to have in a guy like him as well.
he's got scorers on his team. He doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Like he's like, all right, we've got Embiid, we've got Butler. All right, we'll just get it to Redick. You know, just the amount of times he finds Redick. Some of the passing as well, just bullet passes under the rim to find Shamet and Redick. And Jimmy Butler obviously bringing out the best in his teammates. Embiid had 24 points as well.
And they're quite well coached too, so they're going to run plays to get him assists basically.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
If they have to do that, then they have to do that. The last piece of his game basically is that elite sort of, or at least some sort of scoring away from the basket. I just think he's going to get tired too, and unless he takes it easy, sort of the back end of the season, just relaxes into that end of the season, into the playoffs. You know, he's going to be doing a lot of having to score at the rim.
Yeah.
If they need offense and he needs to score the ball, then he's going to have to take those shots, which hopefully he's going to do that because he's a quality player. The Cavs, Delhi 22 minutes. Did we just read that? 13 points, 5 of 9, 3 of 4 from 3.
7 assists.
7 assists, good stuff from him. I think he's going to, I don't think he was as bad as people were sort of making him out to be. No,
I think that he just wasn't getting the time and in the system that Coach Bud had in him, he just didn't really thrive.
Yeah, it doesn't fit him, man.
That's
it doesn't.
fine.
You need to be explosive or be able to shoot the ball off catch and shoot situations, which he can, but it doesn't suit him. It's not his bread and butter. His bread and butter is holding the ball and running plays and
defending and locking the opposition down. Like he's such a pest. He's a pestive defender.
He is. Shall we move on to the Kings at the Mavs?
We shall.
120 to 113 loss. The first loss for a while from the Mavs. I think it was a 9 or 10 game streak
at home
that they were on. Yeah, at home. Yeah, I think they were 12-1 or 12-2 at home, and then now they're 12-3.
Broke off.
Yeah, it was in the first quarter. He got a 7-minute stretch at the end. At the start of the second quarter. It's good.
Yep.
Doesn't look like he fits, man. It does.
I just don't think I think that he tries to do a little bit too much for what he's there for.
Yeah.
Just hit the corner three.
Yeah, just get in that corner.
Get in the corner. Run to the other corner. Make sure that you're open and shoot the ball.
You can't really dial anything up for him too. Like you can't. All you're dialing up is to stand in the corner.
Yeah.
But
that's what you sign a guy that's $800,000 a year.
Yeah, for sure. And he can rebound the ball too. He can rebound it.
He's 6'7", 6'8". Yeah.
There's other guys in that team that rebound. Like you've obviously got Doncic can rebound, then DeAndre Jordan, Dirk I think is starting to come back and he can rebound a little bit, and then Kleber and Powell. Like this, everywhere he has where he can kind of elbow his way into doing something else other than shooting that three. There's no room for him.
Yeah.
So
what do you have? The 3 ball.
What?
No, what do you have if you've got nothing else? You've got the 3 ball.
Yeah.
Hit it.
Yeah, for sure.
Hit that 3 ball.
And he's not really been shooting the 3 ball that well.
No.
Which I can understand if he's getting time here and there. Like it makes sense.
Yeah. And Dirk, we saw Dirk back this game. First game.
Yeah.
Good old Dirk.
It's hard to watch him, man.
He is slow.
Father Time is brutal, man. And how he runs, like with his heels up, he looks like he's struggling, man. But he can still shoot the ball. Far out, he's smooth. His strokes are so smooth, man.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those guys that's good to have in the team. Even if he
if
he was to play 6 minutes for the next 4 years, you just want to have him around. Mark Cuban loves him.
Yeah,
Mark Cuban would like
Cuban. I'd have him.
He wanted some stuffed and taxidermied and just sitting in his house.
Yeah, for sure. I'd have him just around the team for the next 5 years, just for Doncic in general, because he's going to learn a lot from Dirk, and he's going to expand his game as well as become a better player. But yeah, Cuban's pretty savvy. He's all over that sort of stuff.
Yes. And Doncic had 28 points, 9 assists, which is crazy.
Yeah, and they still lost, man.
Yeah, they still lost. No good. Okay, next one, Bucks and Pistons, and a 3-point win for the Bucks. Thank God.
Good win. Thon only had 6 minutes in this game. It's a struggle against the Pistons because Drummond and Griffin's a bad combo for Thon.
You've not got enough body to defend either one of those players, which is a bit of an issue, and that's why he probably doesn't need. You could probably play some large ball 3 if you really needed to in this kind of game, and just
Except that the way they play a large body at the 3 as a shooter doesn't fit properly. Like it really doesn't. Like you need quick, fast guys who can dribble shooters at the 3-point line. That's where they're playing Middleton a lot.
Yeah.
Like having to squeeze him in there. And then Thon doesn't quite fit that. Like if he could play a 3 if it was conventionally, if he was setting screens and rolling and possibly rolling and then flaring back out to the corner to shoot a three, but it's just kind of spread the floor.
Well, it's just Giannis driving in and dishing it all, dunking, pretty much.
They were wearing those yellow jerseys too that are hideous. That I don't like them.
They're not very nice. Griffin missed 2 threes in the final 14 seconds, and he already had a triple-double after 3 quarters. But
that's great.
Oh, he had a quadruple-double, sorry. He had 10 turnovers.
10 turnovers. I was unbelievably awful tonight, Griffin said. Thought we had a chance to tie it despite everything that I did. Yeah, that's great, mate. Just keep turning it back and down and just trying to put up shots and looking like everything's a struggle.
Chunk City. All right, next game, the Jazz and Rockets. The Rockets have gone on a bit of a stretch, and we have to say, fuck the Rockets. God, I hate the Rockets. Say that.
I can't handle watching them, man. 23 turnovers for the Jazz, 17 for the Rockets. It's a horrible game. Joe Ingles, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 25 minutes, 5 points, 2 from 6, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. He did not play well in this game. And I don't think he's going to play well against a Rockets team that spreads the floor and just bodies guys like Tucker and Gordon.
They're too chub for him when he's playing the 3 or the 4. Yeah.
Dante Exum, 20 minutes, 4 points, 1 of 6. He did a little bit of good stuff on Harden, but Harden started to really light up. And
it's hard when Harden lights up. He's just step back 3 balling. Like, it's just, what can you do?
It's just kind of, get Exum off him because we don't want to, we don't want to see him get torched and ruin his confidence. Harden, 14 of 31, 47 points. Jesus. 15 of 16 from the line. Like, Jesus. That's something we didn't say in that other podcast, actually. Melbourne shot 10 free throws in the final quarter. We didn't shoot a free throw from the end of the third quarter onwards. Imagine getting 10 free points in the fourth quarter. I just can't handle that, man. Like, look at these numbers. CP, 0, 3 of 10. Eric Gordon, 4 of 13. Like, what a fucking abomination of a game, man. Like, fuck. I'm so disgusted I refuse to talk about this game.
We'll move on then. And this is where the Spurs absolutely fucking roasted the 76ers.
Yeah, putting up another 120. Like, what? Where did that come from,
I don't know. Yeah, Simmons had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and was minus 27 on the night. Just a bit of an abomination of an even. Some garbage time for Jonah. He got 9 minutes and 2 blocks. Paddy, 8 points, 1 rebound, 3 steals, 2 assists, 1 block on Embiid.
Yeah,
what?
It was listed. Yeah, listed as a block on Embiid.
Yeah, weird.
From 4 feet too, so it was in. Oh no, I think it was a jump shot from about 20 feet.
Yeah,
I think he must have come behind and flicked it. But yeah, good to see Paddy playing well.
Paddy played well. Gay played well. Aldridge played well. DeRozan played well. And I think they just played a faster game and didn't really shoot well. Joel Embiid only had 13 points, 6 from 17.
It was in San Antonio, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jimmy Butler did. I remember this game. No one shot well.
Yeah.
No one shot well. Philadelphia's 41% from the night and 30% from 3. You're going to lose those games. You don't shoot well. Butler didn't shoot well. There's not much you can do. It's just part and parcel of one of those games you chunk during the year against a good team that's well coached. But I think if they were to meet them again, I think it would be a different story necessarily. Next one, Cavs Indiana. And the win by Larry Nance with the tip-in final buzzer beater.
Yeah, it was good.
Delhi with 16 minutes, 10 points, plus 18 in 16 minutes.
Yeah, man.
That is showing you something. What they need to do with Colin Sexton is they need to get Colin Sexton play some 2-ball with Delhi on the floor and just ISO it up, I think.
I don't think he can play 2 guard. He's just too small. And actually, I'd like to see it. I would like to see it because he does have an array of skills.
He played some 2-ball with George Hill and it didn't work. But it's because George Hill is so fucking terrible as a player. Like, we're getting a guy that shoots 46% on the 3 balls. Like, but he shoots like 10 a year.
Is that who did he go to?
The Bucks.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, thank God.
But I like Larry Nance. He played pretty well in this game as well.
Played well.
15 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, passing the ball, which is good. I just think when Delhi's on the floor, they all move around more and they move a little bit better. I like Colin Sexton as a individual and a rookie, but his game feeds back into that singular mentality. And after LeBron's left, I reckon there's a bunch of those players that are like, fuck, we don't want to play like this. We want to move the ball and you know what I mean? So
indeed.
Shall we move on?
Next game.
Mavs and the Nugs.
Yep.
broke off, gets a single garbage time minute.
Yep.
Shall we move on?
Yep. Nothing the Nuggets does is good.
Cavs at the Hornets.
How funny are the Nuggets commentators? They are the worst commentators.
They're the worst, man.
I can listen to Doris Burke talk all day. She's such a good commentator.
Yeah, I love Doris Burke, man.
Man, she's awesome. One of the best commentators, and that's not because she's like a female hashtag me too. She's a fucking awesome and knows her shit. She's not just some random bimbo thrown in going, all right, now you learn about basketball. She's she lives and breathes the game. So some of the
I think she got a jersey retired at her high school or something.
So she should, man.
College.
It's fucking awesome.
For her ability to play.
Yeah, I don't know if she played WNBA. She played college.
Yeah, college.
She played college. And but the Nuggets commentators
announcers, man,
we don't know why Philadelphia's any good. They're shit. Ben Simmons is crap. Oh, look, why are we losing to Ben Simmons? He's garbage. Can't even shoot. Who is this Steph Curry? Steph Curry is just rubbish.
They hate Curry, man. It's hilarious.
It's
when they beat the Warriors, we'll go through that. I think at the end of this. Yeah, those commentators, they hate Curry. It's hilarious. But we'll move on past the Cavs Hornets. No Delhi obviously had that knee injury and they lost to the Hornets. Just another loss for the Cavs. I guess we can move on from that to the Spurs and the Magic. Spurs again, just putting up 130 and whoa, Spurs, where did this come from? 110 plus in winning games handy. Is it ominous signs, is it?
Yeah, I mean, the Magic have just gone real cold real quickly.
Yeah. Vucevic got injured and they're kind of struggling a little bit.
Yeah, not really great.
Aaron Gordon's paid and it's just I'm not putting this team on my back. No worries. If we lose, we lose. LaMarcus, 20 points. Patty, 17 minutes, 5 points, 2 of 6 in the field, 1 of them from 3, 2 rebounds, plus 20 on the night. The NBA's leading three-point shooting team, the Spurs, went 12 from 19 from beyond the arc and have gone 50 from 77 overall. Went 50 from 77 overall to win this game. They're shooting 64%.
This is why they win. Sometimes they snipe
and then sometimes... Yeah, it's crazy.
Just Aaron Gordon had 26 points. DJ Augustine also had 17 points. And Mo Bamba, who... I like Mo Bamba a lot, man. I think he's got a good triple threat game. Did you see him take Vooch to town?
Vooch, he plays with Vooch, doesn't he?
Oh, it's not Vooch. Who was it? Sorry. I think he took LaMarcus to town. Dribble drive straight over the top. He reaches alien like.
Yeah.
Just alien.
That's why I think these guys are changing because LaMarcus has got no vertical at all.
Yeah, well,
he's not known as a shot blocker.
I think Mo Bamba's like the Gobert that can actually run the ball, can shoot the 3 ball. I think he's shooting at about 37%. And has the blockability as well. Yeah. I think he will be a good baller in time once they give him the right time. But yeah, good win for the Spurs. Next one, Knicks and 76ers. Simmons, triple-double, 13 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. The Knicks are just trash. Embiid, another double-double. Butler, 20 points. Shaman had a career-high 17, man. He was just sniping them. Yeah. And... they shot 50% from 3, and then it was just garbage time. But yeah, Tim Hardaway Jr., they didn't knock down as much. Kevin Knox is a good player.
Yeah, man.
Averaging
He's
over...
real, who does he remind me of? Kind of like a shorter Durant, a little bit. He's got the same sort of, the same entry, likes to enter the post in the same sorts of way, shoots from the elbow, and then could put the ball on the floor and get to the rim as well off a little stab step or stutter step type thing. But the Knicks are just if Tim Hardaway's not playing well, it's just what's the point of even being?
I just don't think Enes Kanter has anything for Embiid. But I think just as
and that's even an even worse matchup because Enes Kanter likes to talk about Embiid, and he's always got trying to prove something against Embiid, and Embiid just eats him in his sleep.
Gets into that cerebrum.
So Philly had lost 3 of 4 from their 3 from their last 4. Wow.
So, but a good win to come back to it. Yeah, definitely. We'll move on. Suns and Celtics, and Baines broke his hands. And they lost.
Yeah, that sucks, man. So he's out for a month.
Yeah, a month minimum. But we'll talk about the Celtics and see how they're going, and obviously get things cracking.
Give them as a bit of an afterthought, collectively type thing, rather than go in depth on the Celtics going forward.
Wait till Bainesy comes back into it.
Sucks. I hope he comes back and then stays injury free into that World Cup.
Yeah. So do I.
Need him as well.
We will. And just some news on that World Cup as well. Ben Simmons, the door has been open. He has been in contact with the Australian officials.
Good shit.
And there is some to and fro. He is waiting on really what's going to happen with the contract he's going to...
Yeah, man, because you cannot risk that. There's way too high stuff to... You can't risk that. Getting injured there, losing him for a season. I'm sure Aussies, like the Aussie Association, couldn't even pay his insurance on that contract.
And
the
Pels chunked.
Yeah, Pels Bucks. And the Bucks, man. Davis and AD. Fuck, AD played really well in this game, but towards the end, he appeared to be shaken up on the previous play, but he fell to his knees after blocking a shot. Returned to the bench briefly at the start of the quarter before again heading to the locker room. The Pelicans public relations staff tweeted shortly before halftime that Davis' return was questionable due to illness, not injury. Concussion, you reckon?
Maybe he just had the screaming shits.
Yeah, so Davis didn't speak to reporters after the game, but Alvin Gentry said he was sick. He went in and lost his lunch a couple of times.
Screaming shits?
Concussion?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think so.
I just thought maybe he got hit on that because he has had a couple of concussion things
maybe
this year. I just thought, man, I hope, because that's such a grey area of keeping guys out, and it's third party controlled now.
Yeah, well,
like
it needs to be. It needs to be outside the actual team doctors because they're obviously
it has to be because they're going to try and do as much as they can to keep these guys in the game.
Really, you need a week off if you had a concussion. You should be back on court for next game. You should be out for a week.
So hopefully he was sick, but it was great to see Giannis go up against them, man. Even. What's his freaking name? I wrote it here. George Hill, your favourite. He played pretty well in this game.
He did. I don't like to admit it, but he did play well. But yeah, no, that'll be short-lived.
Well, I think it's a better option than Delhi. Like it's a different type of ball handler, and it's a slashing player too. It's not what Delhi brings to the table. Like I think it's just going to fit them better. Yeah, George Hill. But I know you don't like him.
I don't.
Davis scored the Pelicans' first 9 points of the fourth quarter, and he finished with 27 and 11. And Drew Holiday, man, he's playing well as well.
They're all playing well. They just don't seem to be able to get over the line to some teams for some reason.
It's weird.
It is.
What are they sitting at the moment?
I think 10.
Wow, yeah, like they're nearly third last. Man, if they don't make the playoffs this year, far out. But I said, my prediction was this is going to be the season where Anthony Davis goes, oh, well, we lost. What else? I'm out of here anyways. Take it easy.
Could be.
Then the last game before this weekend's games, which we'll get to on the next episode. This has been a marathon, Golden State and the Jazz, and I watched this game, and both teams were pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah, both teams shot really poorly. The Jazz, obviously, at home, they played a lot better with the atmosphere, and they got going, and they seem to be a team that they draw you into that. The chippiness and the few little elbows were thrown. Joe Ingles loves to get into that scrap. He loves that Aussie scrap. He seems to play really well on Durant a lot of the time.
Okay.
Basically because he's just like a chunky body that he can throw into Durant, get up and under Durant, sort of get into his airspace. But yeah, I think the Jazz needed a win really badly. So I, as a fan, was happy to let them have the win because they, Merry Christmas. And Happy New Year. Hopefully they can get some more wins in the new year because they are also sitting fourth last. Yes. 16 and 18, still under 500, man.
Jesus. Yeah. Tough road.
So
road
if
trips.
you look at the East, Charlotte is sixth, and they're the team under 5. They're the last team over 500.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the West, the
all
last team over 500 is Dallas. Under 500 is Dallas, which is fifth last.
Which is 11th.
Woo! It's a bloodbath, man.
Look, I think that the Nuggets will come back down to earth a bit. I think the Clippers are starting to come back down to earth. The Grizzlies are gone. I think the Jazz will come back up. The T-Wolves seem to be doing nothing. Andrew Wiggins is a chump.
RoboCov, he's struggling as well.
Yeah, RoboCov's. Look, the Spurs will be up there. The Kings.
I hope they just sneak RoboCov back in the Philly back door, man. It'd be great. I'd love to see it.
Oh yeah, he's got another 2 years. It's like, it would be good. It would be good.
That's it. So yesterday, what's today? Monday. So Saturday there was a bunch of games. Sunday there was a bunch of games.
We'll cover those in the next
Caught
episode.
Up. That was 28 games, man.
God, that was a marathon.
Yeah,
what time are we up to?
Busy with that Christmas period. So happy now that that's over and I can have some time to actually watch basketball, not rush through games.
It'd be good to sit down and watch some games over the period. I'm looking forward to Philly Boston on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
God, that's going to be a good game.
All right. Well, that was a marathon. So
episode 50, guys. Thank you very much.
Yes.
We've gotten there. We hope for another 50 more to go and on to the future. But remember to like, share, and subscribe if you're still with us.
Yep.
And we will see you very soon.
Peace.